Thinking Media in association with Boxraw. Kristian Blacklock, strength and conditioning coach of Tyson Fury. It's weigh-in day. Obviously, we got a chance to look at Tyson the other day at the public workout. I couldn't really see much differences in his body shape. Looked very similar to last time, but you tell us.
Yeah, you never really do see a huge difference in his body shape. Sort of over since the comeback, really, sort of very similar looking body shape. He might have been a little bit lighter on a couple of fights and a little bit less muscle mass on a couple of the fights early on after the weight loss. But since then, he's been pretty consistent because we're not trying to make him look better. We're just trying to make him perform. And he performs better, as you can see over those last few fights. He performs better when he's up in there. He's sort of like around that 19 stone mark.
A couple of months ago when we had that initial press conference, I remember asking Tyson what kind of weight will he come in for this fight, and he quoted at the time, he said it'll be the heaviest ever. Is that the case?
No, I think, well, you know Tyson, it's sound bites, isn't it? But no, his weight will be whatever it is. I mean, even the time of the weigh-in can affect the actual weight, because obviously heavyweights don't have to water cut, they don't have to hit a weight, so he'll probably wake up this morning close to that 19 stone mark. He'll be drinking water all day because he's obviously fighting tomorrow, so he needs to be fully hydrated. So whatever the number is on the scales, I think it'll be similar, maybe a little bit less than last time, but nothing dramatically different now.
What have you had to do different compared to the last couple of fights? Because obviously Dillian Whyte's a different size. He brings different things to the fight. Probably brings more weight than Deontay Wilder.
From my side of it, not as much, because the mechanics of the boxing is still the same. You're not going to prepare differently for a slightly shorter guy in terms of strength and conditioning. Sparring partners obviously geared more towards the opponent, so you get used to the look and the size and the how high up the head is, etc. But in terms of my side of it, the benefit of this camp is we've had a clean, straight through camp. Obviously, the last one there was COVID. His daughter was born unwell, so there was breaks in training, and then we had a very short preparation time for the third Wilder fight. This one has been a lot more like Wilder 2. We've had a continuous training run. I started with Tyson back in January. It's been right the way through. He's hit numbers on his work with me, which he's never hit before. So you're not going to get he's certainly strength-wise, he's stronger than he's ever been. I don't think you'll have any issues with his physical preparation for this fight.
Most fans are expecting Dillian to attack the body. Obviously, his nickname's the Body Snatcher. Have you had to work around that? Has that been a part of your training camp?
Tyson's always got a strong core. I mean, I've never visibly seen him hurt. Everyone can be hurt with a punch, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anyone's invincible, but Tyson's got a strong core, a lot stronger than people think. And Tyson's a vicious body puncher himself. He's got a vicious left hook to the body himself. So, and you've got to be in range to land to the body as well. So, Dillian Whyte is a big body puncher. I've read what people have said, and I've seen it myself. He obviously can punch hard to the body, but I don't think Tyson's unduly worried about it, and I haven't had to change any preparation because we always prepare properly anyway. We always, given the time frame and given what we have to work with, we always prepare to the best we can.
And just a quick one on Gerald Miller. I think he was part of Tyson's camp. Obviously, he's a really big dude, and I don't know how fit he was. Have you done some work with him? I
didn't do any work with him myself. A couple of the other sparring partners did. We worked with David Adderdaly, obviously with Joseph Parker. So Tyson's had a few good training partners for the strength and conditioning side of this camp. I haven't worked with Gerald Miller, but obviously with the sparring side of it, having that big, strong guy, a big lump to move around. I think that side of the sparring was very beneficial.
Last one, Chris. Obviously, everyone's got their own opinions on the fight. How do you see it going? Because you're probably in one of the best positions to make a call.
Yeah. My personal viewpoint is Tyson uses his jab, he wins the fight comfortably, and I would be leaning towards middle rounds, soften him up over the first 4 or 5. Plus, Tyson puts pressure on fighters. Dillian Whyte has little rests when he fights. Dillian Whyte looks very fit, I must say that. I don't think you'll ever get a fitter Dillian Whyte than what you've got for this one. He's obviously prepared for the fight of his life because it is the fight of his life. But doing it, there's only so much training you can do. And when you've got a guy who's 6'9", is pressurising you for 3 minutes of the round, not 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, I think he will tire, and I think the jab and the pressure will take toll in the middle rounds.
In fact, I've got one last question for you. I wanted to ask you this last time. Have you ever worked with, because obviously you work with a lot of athletes, have you ever worked with an athlete who, on face value, like Tyson, doesn't look like an athlete, but he's incredibly fit?
Yeah, I mean, not so much pro athletes, but there's quite a few individuals, from the general public I've worked with, who are extremely fit, even if they don't look it. Even you look at like fighters like Tony Bellew, who never had the best body, and he was always plenty fit enough to fight. Tyson's probably the extreme example because he, a lot of what you see with Tyson is the result of weight loss, weight gain, and weight loss. There's a lot of loose flesh there. There's a lot of like fatty deposits that you just can't get rid of no matter how much you train. But what he has got underneath is huge VO2 max, and he's a strong guy. As I said, we're training with Joe Parker, massive strong heavyweight, David Alladale, ripped. Tyson's by no means left behind. If anything, those guys are struggling to keep up with Tyson in all aspects of training. So you never have to worry about Tyson's. In fact, his physical attributes are a massive advantage when it comes to fighting.
And his heart as well. I remember the John McDermott fight where he said he didn't train at all, but he did bloody 10 rounds. It's crazy.
As I said, I've seen Tyson sparring when he's not fit, and it doesn't. It's that will to win. You can't train that into somebody. That's he literally refuses to get beat. They say, you've heard the saying, the only way to beat him is to nail him down. You've got to knock him out clean. That's the only way you'll beat Tyson Fury, is to knock him out clean, or a referee stops it. When he's still willing to go. There's no way he will ever quit. Put it that way.
Well, Chris, leave it on that. May the best man win, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.